everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dishonored, the Knife of Dunwall DLC. So we just finished this and let's move on. Yes, we're ready.
Let's go home.
So we did a few special actions. We didn't do the granny one again. We had a lot of chaos again. We missed one rune, which I really don't know where we missed it. And we did get all bone charms in the end, which is nice. And we found one of the shrines. Okay, well, let's continue.
Jessamine Caldwell's hands were all that was holding this city together. With her dead, this city was a fast disintegrating web of guardsmen, overseers, nobles, weepers. Maybe this was the world the outsider was trying to show me all along. For years, I'd held together a shadowy band of ex-mercenaries, street kids, and refugees through discipline and a bit of black magic. On the fringes of a city that ate up innocence and weakness. Maybe today was the end of that small world. I thought of Jessamine Caldwell's hands shuddering as she lost her grip on life. Whatever doom was coming, I deserved it. My people didn't.
New upgrades available. Improved armor and boot stealth 1. Great. I would love to have those. Let's see. Boot stealth 1. Reduces footstep sounds. Oh yeah, absolutely. Boot stealth 2 would be good as well. Armor reduces damage. I don't think I'm going for that yet. Bone charm capacity could be good, but I'm gonna have to buy some favors at some point. So, guard capacity, we could upgrade that a little bit more, maybe. Let's do that. Then, do we want more? Do one more of this, and then we should have enough, hopefully, to buy the favors if we need to. Start mission. Delilah is a powerful witch who leads a coven that has moved into the ruins of Brigmore Manor. You've returned to your hidden base in the Flood District to plan your next move. And we can put... Let's see, we have one rune, okay. We can put one more bone charm on now. Very easily win contested interactions. Yeah, maybe. Or take less damage from falls could be good. Let's do the overpowering for now.
Master Dowd, we've been attacked by overseers. The base is lost. The men are scattered, some captured by the overseers, and the leader is in your chambers as we speak. If we can regroup and take out their leader, I believe we can still drive them back.
I want to know how the bastards found us in the first place.
Overseer Hume. Free 4 of your captured assassins. That's new. Excerpt from a journal. Another stinking mouth. That's what my mother said. A mouth that a need feeding for years on, then would sass her every time it opened. First words I can remember her saying that. When she drunk for so long that her eyes stopped working for good, drunken ocean, it seemed to me. I left the patched up shack we called home, but before heading out, I reminded her of all the times she'd put her hands on me or thrown something at my head. The night she'd rushed me like an ox and sent me down the back stair. All the time she told me I was just another stinking mouth. Last thing I heard was her cursing me from her bed, cursing the blind dark. Running with my pals, we had to stay sharp to make enough coin to keep from starving. Same story across the aisles. Not the biggest kids, but sometimes the smartest and the meanest when we needed to be. The only way to stay off the back alley mattresses. Not desperate enough to go out on the drain flats with the mutlarks. So it was a knife for us, trying to catch the edge of the headers or the boys from Bottle Street so they'd take us on. Oh, catch the eye. But when a dandy from SOKOLOV stepped down from his polished coach and cracked my dear Deirdre's pretty head and left her twitching and dying in the muck, I snapped off one of the wooden gazelles on top of the coach and drove the splintered end into his eye, as deep as it would go. Last I saw of Deirdre, she was still, eyes wide to the grey sky. But now I like to remember her with a smile, laughing from the void at the one-eyed dandy with the gazelle coming out of his head. No one would take me after that. The City Watch made a full sweep once a week for months trying to catch me. Even the Grand Guard came in from Karnaka down in SOKOLOV. It seemed the dandy's daddy was the Duke of SOKOLOV. I was too much trouble for my friends from the old neighborhood. Anyone who saw me tried to drive me away. They threw rocks to get me to leave or tried to get a bag over my head, hungry for the reward. Even the gangs cursed me on side. Billy's bad luck, they say. Hexed. She'll make it bad for all of us. So this is about Billy, I see. You may think you know what loneliness is, but I can tell you, you don't. By late in the month of harvest, I had a hate inside me that would have choked most. Sorry. Then I met Daud. It was early in the dark morning. The only time I could go out, walking the streets of the legal district, I saw them up ahead. 3 who looked like boys from the City Watch, but dressed out of uniform. They were out for blood and coin, running some kind of murder racket, waiting on a drunk barrister to stagger out of a bar just at the right time. I didn't see him at first, but in the flicker of an eyelid he was on them, out of the cold night air. He used a single blade, nothing else, and it only touched one of them, once. At the left side of the throat, their blood splattered and steamed on the cobbles. Quick movements, an occasional grunge, dark hair and a glimpse of a long scar down his face. When it was over, he made for the rooftops. I'd never seen the like of it, so I followed. I could have stayed and looted the poor bastard he left bleeding. Could have eaten for a month, most likely. But this seemed bigger, so I tried to stay up with him. I tried to stay hidden without losing sight of him. All across Dunwall, into the wrecked and ruined parts, he crossed into what I could tell was his territory. Hidden sentries in odd mass. I thought I'd seen everything in the city, all the gangs, but this was something else. Clinging to roof tiles and watching from behind the chimneys, I watched, then followed them into an old building. Inside was old gloom, rotted carpets and desks full of rat-eaten papers, paintings ruined by the wet. There were weapons and practice dummies. Men lived here in secret, training with knives and crossbows. I lost track of him and continued to explore, but I was a fool. He'd known I was following and came up from behind. When I saw him, I froze, waiting for him to speak. You followed me, found this place, and now you're not begging or running for your life. There's nowhere to run, I said, and I'm not very attached to it, to tell the truth. He came close and looked me right in the eyes, trying to see some light inside what would tell my story. You think you're already dead inside? Well, I give you something to live for. You'll fight for me and kill people like the ones who've hurt you. I just nodded, feeling relief for the first time in months. Interesting. So that's her story. Okay, that's really cool. Let's see. Gonna go up? There? Go up even further. Yeah, there's a lot of bone charms and runes and stuff like that.
You mean you saw a chance of personal glory and acting premature? Careful. Careful. It's both down. You worry too much.
Things are bad. Could the city get any worse?
Indeed, I believe so.
Oh, freak! I fell! Oh no! Oh, that sucks. Oh, I fell. Should. Just when we got him as well. Gotta go down.
Dies.
He's gonna find it. About it right now, yeah?
Dies.
Good. Oh no.
Guards, to me! Die, damn it! All right, we know you're...
See that grenade?
It looked like he just disappeared. Oh, I'll find you. Shout if you see him.
A lot of books around here. SOKOLOV, Technology and the New Age. Excerpt from a recent book detailing SOKOLOV's machines. One of the advantages of SOKOLOV's technologies is that they share the same magnetic socket. For the tanks of process will they use a fuel. When a tank is exhausted, another can be plugged into place with ease, and the process is simple enough that any common workman or even the lower guardsmen of the City Watch can handle the task. This applies to the arc pylon and the wall of flight security systems, as well as the powered carriages used for transport by those few who are wealthy enough to afford them. The only obvious downside of SOKOLOV's designs is the volatility of the tanks themselves. A few incidents have occurred, resulting in damage to property or bodily harm whenever one of the tanks has exploded. I saw another book somewhere. There we go. The Deep Watchers, excerpt from a natural philosopher's journal. Before the cable snapped, there was nothing to see, nothing to report. My lantern revealed only an endless death below, and my mission felt like a bitter failure. I would have returned to the service empty-handed, but now, at the cost of my life, I've made a profound discovery, so I write these words in the hopes that someday my companions will recover this dividing bell, which has become my tomb, and find this journal. I want others to know that I have seen here what extraordinary events have transpired. Frost is gathering on the inside of the thick portals and my breath is misty. It has been 6 hours since this ill-fated adventure began, and my calculations made it clear that there is no more than an hour of good air remaining within the sphere. What brought me here? Curiosity, a desire for glory, financial gain? In all the months I spent designing this submersible, my mind has been fixated on the minute details. Tempering the glass portals, the airflow from the surface to the sphere, the ingenious switch that would allow communication via bells with the ship above. I pored over every element in the design and construction of this apparatus. Why had I never considered that the creatures here might resent my intrusion, that they would lash out at the iron monstrosity plunging deep into the unfathomable darkness? It happened in an instant. Out of the inky depths, the great fluke of a will slid past my lantern, casting white shadows into nothing. A second later, what had been a steady, controlled descent became a gut-churning tumble. The meadow around me groaned, and I felt certain that the sphere would implode from the pressure. The spinning dizzied me, such that I could scarcely keep my feet. Then a savage collision whereupon my skull struck the deck and I blackened out. A precious hour of my time was spent in that fitful sleep, and then I awoke. The sickening realization came upon me. Cut off, untethered, and completely removed from the world above, with no chance of returning. I extinguished my lantern some time ago in order to conserve air, and only then did the ghostly radiance of the seafloor reach my eyes. Not the sea itself, but the tiny tentacled creatures that swarm over it. They create a carpet of soft colors, twisting and moving in waves, as if they are singing with light. It is in this dim luminosity that I can see them, the leviathans, the great whales. Here, in their domain, they move with grace and elegance, with purpose. They have approached the sphere repeatedly now, one almost touching the portal with her great eye. As I stare into the orb, it is clear to me that the thing is not mindlessly searching for prey. It is observing me. It is curious. One by one they approach and peer into my window. There is an unnerving sense of intelligence in that gaze, the void of malevolence. For a time, they examined me, my predicament, and allowed themselves to drift off to trace the broken cables along the sea floor. I dream that one will take the cables in its great jaws and haul me back to the surface, but it's only a rapturous fantasy of the thinning atmosphere. I find myself gasping now, while the creatures move away and watch from a distance. Their song is different here. I've heard it for years on the surface, but here it is soulful and moving. The natural philosopher in me is beginning to suspect that the song has notes that we cannot even detect, but here in the depths they can be felt. I believe they are trying to comfort me while I die. First researcher Douglas Church, ESS Keeper, forwarding exploratory vessel, Academy of Natural Philosophy. Oof, I feel so sorry for the guy. That is an absolutely terrible death. We can go out there if we want to. There's multiple captures assassins. Oh, explosive bullets. Okay, I think we got everything here.
Nice.
Bone charm there with 2 people, no, 4 people. Man.
This one's done. There isn't any fight left in him.
Nice.
No wonder they keep to the shadows. They're nothing in a stand-up fight. They'll remember us. The men who smashed DAUD'S assassins. What's wrong? Waiting for the outsider to help you? When he regains consciousness, we'll gut him. Slowly. Checking out.
Maybe.
Nice.
I just want to kill you, to be honest.
Into everything.
Oh, that didn't kill him.
To the void with you.
He is very non-killable.
Cut
Hello.
the rope. My hands are tied. I'll survive. I'll await your signal.
Welcome. What do you say then? Thanks, Mr. Dowd. Where is it? There it is. Wrong arms. Okay. Heretical artifact. Please log this superstitious artifact. It was found on one of DAUD'S men in a training area with the in the commerce building. There should be a crate in the temporary headquarters for items of this nature. Deposit it here after you create a log entry for it. Overseer Marcus. Okay, so we can go out here if we want to.
Dice.
There we go.
You hit your own squad after what happened last night? Chances are very good.
There you go. Oh man.
Dice.
Is it true that more bone charms have been taken from apostates since the plague started?
There we go. Woo! I'm very quiet right now because I'm very stressed, guys. I'm very focused on what I'm doing.
Dice.
A lot of guys here. A lot of them. There. A lot of guys in here.
Dice.
Sight from your entrails!
Dice.
You're gonna bleed, damn you! I know you're here. I know you're here somewhere, scum.
Victory letter. Overseer Pike, I've taken the commerce building. A temporary headquarters has been set up in a nearby structure. My men are dealing with a number of captives that should prove to be very informative. We have achieved a total victory here, catching the enemy by surprise. The plans for a larger coordinated assault were obviously unnecessary. I am confident that Daud will show himself and will be in our custody shortly. Overseer Leonard Hume. Let's see. Overseer Hume is responsible for leading the attack. The assault plans he ignored are in the Overseer's temporary headquarters.
And not be restless. Reveal yourself.
Gotta find those now.
No, I'll find you. I heard you. I'll find you. It's going to be bad. I know you're here. I know you're here somewhere, Scum. When I find you, it's gonna be bad. Where are you? I'll feed your heart to the hound. Assassin, help! Firing! Burn your body!
There you go. Not the cleanest. Maybe the dirtiest. Something about this room, guys. There's something about this room. I just can't do it.
Got a problem. Let's just see.
DAUD'S journal, DELILAH COPPERSPOON. Excerpt from DAUD'S personal journal. DELILAH COPPERSPOON. Who is she and why is everyone afraid of her? Strange that a painter should have so much influence, or that she should have any connection to my life and what I've done. My fate is my own, always has been. The problem is I don't know enough. There are missing pieces. I can't imagine how or why Delilah is linked to the death of the Empress, but the outsider wouldn't bother saying it unless it contains some grain of truth. Now it's driving me mad, like a puzzle I can't get out of my head. A riddle in pigment and blood. No doubt that black-eyed bastard takes delight in watching me twist into knots. He knows I can't abide in mystery. Billie has little insight to offer. None of the usual virtual when I bring up the name Delilah. Just a shrug. Just tell me how you want this handled. It's odd behavior for Lurk. If I find this Delilah and cut her throat, maybe I can dodge what's coming. The consequences the outsider spoke of. Or maybe ending her life will bring the entire city down on my head. When I face her, will I see the eyes of the Empress? Can I go through with it, even if it's the only way to save my own skin? Somehow I suspect there's more to Delilah than portraits and sculptures. I'll find out more when I talk to Tim's family.
What happens if I get another crack at this guy?
Billie Lurk watches me closely, studying my decisions, each move I make. That's nothing new. Even as a kid, there was a quiet curiosity there. Though curiosity is not quite the right word, but lately it seems more intense. I'll feel the hairs on my neck standing up, only realizing a moment later that Lurk is on a roof or a balcony nearby. Some mornings, some of my papers seem to be off, moved, maybe poured over. When we're alone and Billie's comfortable with the mask off, questions come from odd angles, unrelated to our missions or to a specific target. Questions about what I'm thinking, about my attitude towards the target. It's odd. Something to watch. Another puzzle. Every one of my whalers is good, though my gift seems stronger in some than others. The outsider's mark is a mystery in this way, not something I can control. Those who remain with me either gain the use of my extraordinary abilities or they don't. Those who don't, I just push toward the blade, the crossbow, or the study of poison. Everyone amongst them serves in some way, and together we spill a sea of blood. Lurk is quicker of study than most, but stays aloof from the others. It's no matter to me, as long as orders get carried out. Okay. Look at that. So many people that have been taken out. The latest log entry. 18 years on this wretched rock in the city of filth. I felt the blood of scholars, of noble pedophiles, of guildsmen, of unfaithful lovers, of politicians who were far too just for their own good, and of law enforcers who came too close to bringing the wrong man to justice. Why should an empress be any different? Why should I feel the entire weight of this dying city crushing down on my back? Corvo, Lord Protector is of Serkonos, just as I once was. I might have known that fact already, but it didn't matter until I recognized it in his face. It brought back distant memories of home and the optimistic young man I once was. What would I find if I went back there? Would I find that it has rotted from the inside, just like Dunwall? Or will it only appear that way because I'm the one who's rotted? Where are you? Above. Let's see, we have 2 of them now. Can we buy Ben time? Oh, we have 3 of them and it costs 2. Awesome. Okay, we finally have Ben time then. We wanna... Ooh, that's gonna cost 6. That's a lot. Okay. It is increase in falling damage reduced. That could be good soon as well, but I think we're gonna save up for Ben time too. Sure, that can be on 9. That's okay. Oh my god, that's many books. The Royal Protector. Have we read this? No. Throughout the ages, rulers have always faced attempts on their lives. Once in a generation, the Empire is rocked by the death of a powerful politician or religious figure. As such, city-states across the Isles have devised varying strategies for protecting their leaders. In the capital city of Dunwall, each new emperor is allowed to appoint a royal protector. This is far more than a trusted bodyguard. Much more revered than the hand-chosen guards defending Dunwall Tower or the food tasters, the royal protector is a court figure, given enormous latitude, who keeps constant company with the highest ruler in a known world. At the age of 12, the young monarch participates in the selection process, making the final decision about who will safeguard his or her life. While most of these chosen as royal protectors have been men, several times throughout history, a woman has served as well in the role. For the first time in Dunwall history, a monarch has been slain by her own bodyguard. At the time of this writing, with Dunwall in the grip of the worst plague ever recorded, our fair Empress Jessamine Colwyn has just been murdered. The deed was done by her former royal protector turned assassin, Corvo Attano, who is still sitting in Coldridge prison awaiting his deserved execution. Some argue that it is worth noting that Corvo Attano is the first royal protector in the history of the Empire born outside of the Isle of Crystal. Oh, I see. Huh. Okay, well, there's many more books to go, but we're going to be doing that next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!